numbers for you, if that's all right.
Yes, of course.
I'm having a malfunction with my stand. Okay.
Just a check it.
So the song we're going to perform, actually, let me backtrack. The first song you heard was a standard by the name of Beatrice, with a little bit of some Saida song flutes sprinkled in there for those train lovers too. I'm a huge train lover, and that's why we're all here tonight. The second tune was a composition that was done by the great McCoy Tyner, who actually worked with Train too. It was a beautiful piece entitled For Tomorrow. And right now we're going to do something for you that's an oldie, but a goodie. I like to throw in love songs every now and then in my sets because there's so many different kinds of love songs to choose from. The ones where you really, really, really love a person and you just can't help but tell them. The love songs where you can't admit that you love them, but every action shows otherwise. But you just can't deal with reality. So that's your choice in how you deal showing them. There's two's a crowd, three's company love songs. There's love songs about those shy people that would love to show their love for somebody, but are just too shy to get over themselves to tell somebody. And then there's this love song about the regret somebody will feel once they realize, man, I had it good while I had it. And it's too late. So without further ado, we're going to do this song for you. Oh, that rhymes. Further ado, song for you. And it's a piece that I recently recorded on an album I did in 2018, Waiting for the Sunrise. And this is my arrangement of After You've Gone. We hope you like it. It's gonna be a great night. 1, 2, 2. After you've gone and left me crying, after you've gone, there's no denying you. You with the shine, you miss the greatest time that you ever had. Well, come that time, don't you forget it. Well, come that time. You will regret it someday when you feel sad and lonely. Your heart's gonna break like mine, and you think of me only after you go. After you've gone So this next song I'm gonna do for you, man, I thought I was gonna make it through the gig, and I didn't bring my water, and I'm feeling it now. I think I'll be okay. It's jazz. We improvise. That's what we do, right? Oh, we got water. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll stall while the water's coming. So this next tune we're gonna do for you, I had the great fortune of recording it. I believe it was a year ago with the legendary Louis Hayes. And how many of y'all are familiar with Cannonball Adderley? Nancy Wilson? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hmm? Yeah. I'm in the this is so exciting. Thank you. Thank you. So he was the drummer that performed with those great, incredible, legendary musicians. And Lewis is a legend in his own right. And he had a project that he released last year. And I had the great fortune of being a guest on his album. Thank you, Marcella. And when he asked me to record with him, he asked me to pick a song. And I was like, well, that's kind of a hard choice because there's nothing else to pick but the book that you did with Nancy. But then, of course, there's always that little side of you. It's like, that's Nancy, though. But I decided to do it anyway. And actually, to my surprise, he was so happy that I chose that song because he was like, yes, I would love to do that song with you. And we did it. And it was such a joy getting to record it with him because it was like, wow, that's Louis Hazel. And I'm singing right now. So we're going to do the song for you right now. This is another love song. This is one of those love songs where you say bye-bye, adios, adieu. The masquerade is over. Hope you enjoy it. One more. Okay, I think I'm gonna clear. La 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 your eyes don't shine like they used to shine. And the thrill is gone when your lips meet mine. I'm afraid the masquerade is over, and Shelley's love and Shelley's love. Your don't what they used to do. They were once inspired, now they're just beauty. I'm afraid the masquerade is over, and so is love. And so is love. I guess I'll have to play Pagliacci and get myself a clown disguise, and then I learn to lie like Pagliacci. You're not the same. But my heart says no, no, you're not. You're not the same. I'm afraid. The masquerade is over, and so is love, and so is love. Yes, I have to play and get myself a clouded sky, and then I learn to laugh like Pagliacci. With your tears hanging from my eyes. Oh, you look the same. says no, no, you're not. You're not the same. I'm afraid the masquerade is over. And so is love. And so is love. It's all is and we'll have everything you said. Falling in love can bring no one can tell me I love you so and you love me so day will come if we just wait a while, no tears for us. Think love and wear a smile out your ring. I'm magic to share because we always say love is way our day. Will come, will come, will come, will come. And we had everything. We will share the joy. Falling in love can bring no one can tell me that I'm too young. I love you so, and you love me. Oh, baby, we just wait a while. No one can forever. We love and wear a smile. Our dream, a night to share. Because we always share. And love to spare. Our day will go. Our day. Our day. Please give it up for Daryl on the drums. Tariq on the bass. I'm Camille. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I think we have a Q&A happening right now. So this is the part of the show where we get to hear from you instead of you hearing from us. Any questions?
Yeah.
Sure.
So do you want to sit down?
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, hold on, we're going to pass the mic around. We're going to do this talk show style so everybody can hear each other.
Hi, how you doing? That was wonderful. That was just awesome. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. I'm a teacher. I'm an English teacher. I love music. Music teacher friend of mine. I learned so much from him because he's a musician. So I'm always curious to hear from other musicians. You think of somebody like John Coltrane. From your perspective, what did you learn from him? What did you feel was distinctive about his style? Yeah.
Well, what I loved about Train was I didn't get to know him personally, unfortunately, because he was way before my time. But when I would hear his music, there was something about him that was just so sincere and pure and honest. And then when I started kind of listening to more of his records and then talking to some of my mentors about him, and then when they told me that he had a shy side too, I was like, oh, that's me. But you could hear that sincerity in his sound. When you play his records, when you're listening to I Love You, or when you're listening to My Favorite Things, it's like he's singing through his horn. And for me as a horn player, that's the one thing we're always trying to strive to do on the horn. Get that same feeling, all those goosebumps that you feel from somebody's voice, but through the instrument. And also too, that transparency of being open and but showing that sensitive side, but showing that side of beauty too. What I love about him, there's so many sides of Train throughout his career. If you pick any of his records, you can hear and see that there was many faces to his playing. And I just love that when you hear him, it's that openness and that transparency that you just hear all or nothing. And as an artist, that's something that you're trying to strive for when you're playing or singing, and it's hard because it's very revealing. But you know, Train was just one of those special artists that really had a way of being able to do that. Did y'all want to say anything about?
Yes, John Coltrane, one of my very favorite artists. Well, what I loved about him is that I could hear, for me, I can hear two distinct great horn players in his playing for influence. And those two I'm speaking about is Dexter Gordon and Gene Ammons. So coming out of such a tradition, because if you really know about Dexter Gordon and Gene Ammons, they were sitting side by side in Billy Eckstine's orchestra together where bebop was formed at. Train pushed the envelope constantly. There's never a point to where he is, let's say, from the same, or playing the same way at a different time and different, within a few years, really, just like you can take 3-year stints and hear such an incredible change in John Coltrane pushing the envelope, exploring. And this is something that brings great joy to the music and great satisfaction for the player to be able to consistently create something, like Camille said, that's sincere, you know. And the vocal quality in his horn, I listen to Train, for me, I listen to Train a lot when I am like sad or melancholy. And it really just is healing for me. Makes me feel so much better. And really, that's one of the only artists that I put on when I'm feeling that way or I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. And it frees me. It releases so much from me. And to this day, especially the quartet with Jimmy Garrison, Elvin Jones, and McCoy Tyner, especially that particular quartet, is the way that, for me personally, that I think that jazz should sound and should be played. And it's not a should. I'm not trying to should you to death. No, but for me, that's the most fulfilling era of music that still has not been matched.
Yes, I definitely agree with all the words said. For me, Coltrane was one of the first identifiable voices musically that I could hear. I can say, "Oh, that's Coltrane" every time. Um, and then once I started studying the music from the beginning all the way to when he departed here, it's still the same voice. It's just its growth, its progression, and it still sounds like that. You can put Coltrane on a car in the parking lot, and if I hear a little bit, I will know. Like that's how I identify. I always say, to me, his sound is like my mother's voice, you know. And so I feel the same way. Like it's such a healing sound. It's such a comfort to listen to Coltrane. But the other thing is, I think he really embodied not only the spirit of this music, but the spirit of our culture, because he comes from the blues tradition, and you can hear that. And that quartet, what made it so incredible is that at the end of the day, every last one of the players in that quartet was playing the blues. It didn't matter what song it was, you know. I mean, Elvin Jones playing the backbeat. I mean, it was just like, it sounded like some, you know, juke joint blues sometimes, and then it would be something else. It was just everything. It embodied the whole culture, the spirit of it, the intellect, the artistry, the mastery, the high level of proficiency, everything. And so that's what I always take from Coltrane. It's just that whole embodiment of this music and culture.
Carol, I got a quick question for you. In the long history of this music, there have been a few phenomenal husband and wife teams. Two that come to mind is Gary Turrentine and Cheryl Scott, Max Roach and Abby Lincoln. Talk a little bit about playing with Camille as your wife, as a team. Talk about
Well, it can be a challenge at times. um, but one thing that a lot of people don't know is that I was a little further along in the music than Camille. So for me, when we met, I was just throwing stuff at her, information and things, and trying to connect her to everything. And so, but my ultimate goal was I just wanted her to be able to stand on her own and not lean on any other person as a musician or artist, you know. And so that was the first primary goal, was to give her access to the information and everything, because I feel like I was, even though I'm not from New York, I feel like I was born in a very unique community where I had a lot of elders around me. I was on tour at 20, 19 years old with people 83, 84 years old who played with Jay McShann and Bird. And so I really came up with a lineage of people who came through this music. And they're not only did they come up in the bebop era, their parents were in the swing era, playing with Duke and Basie. So I was really connected. So I felt so fortunate to grow up that way. And I just was trying to impart what I knew to her. And so that always becomes a challenge. So now at later on, later on the challenge is like our artistic differences and letting those things flourish, you know, like sometimes I hear something a certain way or she hears a certain way. And so it's like sometimes I'm just like, okay, you got it. You got it. You know, because you know, I want her to have her voice and it's okay. We can develop that. And then but it's good. I mean, I like being on the road. We're on the road together. We do a lot of things together. But then you best believe we definitely butt heads, but I mean it's good. I mean it's not bad, you know. No, because it's a growth thing, and that's why you know. And she'll tell you. I used to say, don't back down from me. Like challenge me too. You know what I mean? So maybe I'll think about that and I'll grow. You know, and I'll say, oh, okay, maybe all right. You know, and so that's some of the challenges. But I do look at Max and Abby and those couples, and I admire them a lot because they were profound, not just on the bandstand, but out in the community, you know. And that's one thing that Camille and I, we try to do as well. We try to not only be here, but we try to be involved in the community and really pull in the people and try to nurture and to just do our part, you know. I know people say, athletes and celebrities say, well, I'm nobody's role model. I'm nobody's hero. Well, once you step into that position, it's actually a part of your duty to try your best to be the best you could be for somebody else. And so that's how I believe the both of us look at that. And we try to carry that lineage of excellence, that lineage of class and sophistication. Because that's what you see when you see Shirley and Stanley and Abby and Max. That's class and sophistication that is supreme, you know, and we do our best to try to carry on that legacy.
Camille, I wanted to ask you, what is your musical history? I don't think you were born singing jazz. So what is your musical history? How did you start out singing and playing?
Well, my mother, she sung and played piano. And it's funny because a student asked earlier, like, so did you study singing formally and saxophone playing formally? And for saxophone, yes, but for the voice, no. I didn't take lessons, or I didn't study with the teacher for voice, because for me, I was listening to Sarah and Ella at age 12, trying to mimic them as much as I could. And then in playing the saxophone, it taught me how to listen, because I was transcribing Dexter's solos and trying to get the nuances of his lines, even though I was clumsily doing it on my instrument. It taught me to be aware of those kind of things, so that when I would listen to vocalists, I was gravitating to those nuances too. And even though there were mature things that they were doing, I was being aware of those things at a young age, to the point where I saw my voice as an instrument with no limitation. And in trying to recreate that, I started kind of getting to know my voice and what it was capable to do. I wasn't always out front with it. I think because of the guilt of the fact that, oh, well, you know, I studied formally saxophone. I didn't study formally voice. But I mean, if you think about it, any and every artist that has a unique voice, they have their own unique journey that comes along with it. I mean, when you hear about the story of Ella, okay, she was listening to the Boswell sisters and she was, you know, singing and dancing on the street corners. She wasn't taking vocal lessons. She was a natural born talent that knew how to hear and find it. And for me, it was the same thing with my voice. Now, saxophone, it's a different journey, but for me, I'm happy I didn't study formally on voice, because it kind of made me open to exploring it, to the point where I didn't have any limitations.
Okay, this will be our last question.
I'm just going to refer to what the bass player was saying, how you could always recognize when John Coltrane was playing. And also you had mentioned that every couple of years, 3 or 4 years, his sound changed, his whole his vocabulary changed. And and it's kind of reminiscent of some other musicians who played during the same time as he did. Certainly Miles Davis, his music changed over the course of the years, the decades. Another musician that comes to mind would be Herbie Hancock. But I wonder what you all think. What type of music would John Coltrane be playing today?
That's an excellent question. I don't even know how to answer that. I mean, because when you listen to his, especially the stuff that, like, right before when he passed on, it's out of this world. I mean, it's just like, he was such a special person to be pushing so far, that I think if he was around today still, we'd have light years to catch up to him. Did y'all want to say something?
Personally, I think if he was around today, I think he would be playing jazz, you know? I mean, because we got to understand that jazz is the highest form of expression in music. there's nothing higher than that, and most, even I notice most musicians that you might think of like in other genres, once they start getting to a certain level and a certain point in a exploration, they start gravitating towards jazz because they start to realize that it is the highest form and expression musically. And so I really think he would be playing jazz. I mean, definitely, probably, like Camille said, beyond what has left us with, but definitely, I believe, still in jazz.
I just have something interestingly humorous to say for the answer. Me and my little sister, when we were growing up, we used to play around and say we were from the planet Xeroximo. So in that way, what I'm saying is that Coltrane would have been playing some interplanetary music that we cannot fathom from this point where we stand today.
Give it up for Camille Thurman and her trio. Thank you so much for coming and for being here with us, Camille. You represent a lot of what our home is about, so we appreciate that. And we want to encourage you, we do have merch out in the front. The library does close at 9, but visit our merch table. For those of you who contributed during the show, thank you. We are so deeply appreciative. Yes, that happened, Mr. Diana. He looked the try. Yeah, so we do need the support. We appreciate you so much, and you'll be hearing from us. And if you're not on our listserv, please subscribe. Go onto our website. And next month is Dave Liebman's coming out here, April 22nd, the saxophonist. So please be sure to sign up for that. And we want to get to know you, and we love you already. So thank you so much. All right, thank you. All right, Camille, thank you.